Hey guys, so today I just wanted to do my foundation routine because I had mentioned it in my last video, and that is why I have on like this ridiculous eye makeup and nothing on my face, and I probably look terrifying. But yeah, I just was in the mood. I'm gonna do this as a talk through because one, it is easier to explain everything that way, and two, you know, today's just been a terrible day. Like, it was already a bad day, already a bad week, and then my fish died, and I was really sad. His name was Scuba. So anyway, yeah, I was feeling sad, and it is like midnight, and I just felt like putting on makeup because what better way to cheer yourself up than put on makeup? And I figured since my eyes were already done, I might as well just film my foundation routine right now. So let's get started. Now you can probably see I have a lot of redness and splotchiness and just generally like this. That is awful. And this, which has been here for like 2 weeks or something ridiculous. But so yeah, this foundation routine is really good for covering redness, some acne. I would call it more like mild. It's not anything too severe, but yeah. I have pretty normal skin. Well, it's combination, too oily, but recently I've been getting some dry patches, and sometimes when I put on my foundation it gets really cakey and just like moo. So what I've been using as a primer is this Urban Decay Naked Skin Illuminating Beauty Balm. Kind of looks like a warm tone kind of BB cream, but it really doesn't put any color onto your face. It mostly just puts on like this really nice sheen. Not really like a sheen, it's just like a glow. I don't know how else to describe it besides a glow, but it does. And there is shimmer in it though, which I know some people are not a fan of, so just warning you that there is quite a bit of shimmer actually. But I never notice once I put my foundation on over it. Excuse my nails, I bought new nail polish and I just messed it up real bad. So basically I just like put this on like a lotion, but also kind of press it into my face. It does say that it helps with pores, but it doesn't have that silicone feel. It just mostly, it makes your face feel super soft all day, and it really preps the skin for the foundation. The foundation that I'm going to be using is the Tarte Amazonian Clay full coverage 12-hour foundation, whatever. So I really am a fan of this. It's pretty full coverage and it lasts all day, which is what I need. So when you know, squeeze it out, it's kind of thick, and I think I just got way too much for my face, but we're just gonna go with it. And so the way that I like to apply this is by kind of dotting it, but like kind of rub just a bit because it's so thick. This helps to get a head start getting it worked into the skin. And I like to buff it in with this Real Techniques buffing brush, and I just kind of take it, and I don't really do circular motions yet. I just kind of pat it and drag it down so it kind of works into the skin without buffing it all away. And I like to work on halves of my face at a time. Plus then I can show you kind of a before and after. I don't concentrate too much on underneath my eyes because I am going to highlight that later on and conceal it with concealer. So yeah, this is the half of my face with one little layer, and this is the half that's not done yet, so I'm just gonna go and add the second half of my face. Alright, and that is my whole face with one layer, and as you can see I got way too much, so I still have some on here, but I don't know if on camera it picks up, but there are some places that are still a little bit red peeking through, so I just take my brush then and just dab a tiny bit and kind of dot it along the places where I want to add the extra coverage. And this time I buff it in a little more just because I don't like it to get cakey, which usually it doesn't, but occasionally it can with a foundation that's this thick. And then I make sure to kind of blend it into the hairline and along the edges and down my neck as well. Even though this foundation really seems to match me pretty well, it's gotta be safe. The foundation. After foundation, I move on to concealer, and I do my concealer in 2 steps, and I use 2 concealers. My first concealer that I like to use is the MAC, whoa, my light is going crazy, is my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer of the shade NW20. And with this, it's like super difficult to get the right amount onto your hand, but I try to do about half a pump. But if it doesn't, if I get too much, I just kind of put it on the back of the cap, which I learned from someone's video. I don't remember who it was, but I do that and it stays perfectly fine, so I can use it the next time. And then basically what I do is, this is what I use to conceal any spots on my face that I want to cover up because it is my skin tone. And I use the Real Techniques concealer brush, which is just this tiny little brush, and I get a little bit from my hand and I just cover up those areas. And I just like let those sit for a little bit. So yeah, see how I have extra on my hand? I just kind of take the concealer and do that, and it just kind of stays on there, which looks gross, but I don't like to waste it. So after this has sat on my face for just a little bit, I like to just take my brush and just pat it, because this really gets it into the skin, really covering up those blemishes. And you see how it's not, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's not completely blended out yet, but I don't worry about that. I still leave it while I do this next step. So this is my other concealer that I've been using, and this is a concealer I use for under my eyes. This is the NYX HD Concealer, and I have it in the lightest shade. And what I do with this is just dot it under my eyes, kind of towards the corner, especially if I have a look like now and it kind of got a little messy. And usually I just end up joining that. And then I just kind of connect those little dots and make a little triangle, or a big triangle. And then I also add this to my forehead and down my nose, Cupid's bow, and chin. So once you're looking properly, like a little crazy, I like to first blend out this concealer with my fingers, just because under my eyes I feel like it gets it the best. But then notice how you can still definitely see like the concealer-y look of that. Then I just take a damp sponge. This is the Real Techniques one, because I'm not about to pay $20 for a sponge, no matter how good it is. And I use that to blend out the rest of my concealer. Making sure now you're going to go back over those places where you put the other concealer to make sure that it's blended out. And then I just actually kind of take it over my whole face. I end up going crazy. But I feel like this just makes everything a lot smoother and more natural and flawless looking. Once everything is blended out the way that I want it to be, I take my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. It's in the shade Transparent, and I take a big fluffy brush, and then I set under my eyes, down my nose where I get oily, and kind of on my cheeks as well. I can skip the cheeks sometimes, but because this is a video, I'll just go over the whole thing and just kind of pat that all over. I really, really like this powder, especially at Target. It's like $4. Now that that is all set and ready to go, I am basically done with my foundation. This is all I do for foundation. I guess it's kind of a lot, but this is what I do if I really want that flawless look. This is my full flawless foundation routine. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I finally found a foundation routine that I actually like, really, really like. Normally I kind of like something, but like there's something wrong with it. But for me, this works great. It lasts all day, especially on my longest days, and I just love everything about this. Yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this video, and please like the video if you did, and comment and subscribe if you haven't already. It would mean so much to me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!